falling in love with yourself. It sounds cute, right? But in reality, it's not all bubble baths and affirmations. It often comes from that raw place when you finally decide it's time to stop being your own biggest hater and become the love you've always wished for. All of the love that you've been seeking already exists inside you. It's just waiting to be tapped into. I'm Chani, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing how to fall in love with yourself and my journey that got me there. For me, it really started when I decided I was done being at war with myself. I realized that I was always picking myself apart and talking to myself in ways that I would never speak to somebody who I love. And even crazier, I would never let somebody else, even a stranger, talk to me like that. So something had to change, something had to give. So I started rewriting and reprogramming my internal dialogue, changing the way I spoke to myself, and replacing all of those negative thoughts that came up, throughout the day in the mirror as I went about my day. I started replacing it with something beautiful and constructive, because law of replacement, for everything you're trying to get rid of, you got to replace it with something of equal or even higher power. So if I had a thought like, oh my God, I'm so ugly, it would be switched to, I am beautiful exactly as I am. If I thought, oh, I'm so stupid, how did I not know that? I am smart and I'm always learning. So just putting in those positive thoughts, those positive affirmations throughout the day, that really changed the game for me, because that love, it all starts with how you talk to yourself. Number 2 is giving yourself what you crave from others. Ask yourself, what is it that I feel that I need? What is that love that I feel that I'm lacking, right? For me, I would ask myself this, like, okay, what is it? Is it validation? Okay, I'm gonna validate myself. I'm gonna hype myself up. I'm gonna hype myself up in the mirror. I'm gonna encourage myself. Started doing that. Is it affection? Okay, started being there for myself. Started, holding myself, giving myself that love I need. Is it attention? Okay, I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna be present with myself. Whatever it is, think of what you feel you need and how you can give that to yourself, right? Because really, there's no reason that we have to be waiting around, waiting for that love and neglecting ourselves when we have all of that power to fill our own cup. A way that we do this is by fulfilling all of our love languages, whatever they are. Well, we already talked about words of affirmation, but definitely make sure you're doing that. If that is physical touch, maybe that is taking a nice bath. Maybe that's doing your skincare with intention. Maybe that's, giving yourself a nice little massage. Getting in tune with your body, taking care of your body with love, not just because we have to, but because we get to, right? Bringing that intentionality in there. Is that acts of service? Okay, I'm gonna clean my room. I'm gonna cook myself a nice meal. Is that gifts? Okay, I'll treat myself here and there. And that doesn't have to be splurging at the mall every day, but maybe buying yourself a little something now and then. Maybe making yourself or getting yourself a coffee. Maybe even just making yourself a playlist, making yourself a bracelet. Just treating yourself because you deserve it. And you don't have to wait for somebody else to give you these things. Quality time, okay, I'll put my phone down and just be present with me. Because, often we're trying to distract ourselves, be busy, be doing all this and that. And, when we're not around people, when we're finally alone, then we're just on our phone, scrolling or just distracted, listening to music, we're not fully present with ourselves even when we're alone. So make sure that you are indulging in that quality time with yourself, that you are able to unplug, sit with yourself. Maybe that's meditating. Maybe that's going for a walk. Maybe that is doing some yoga, right? Maybe that's taking yourself out somewhere on a little date with yourself. Sometimes I would just go to the park with my book, with my journal, whatever, just walk to the park, be very present with myself. Make sure you're giving yourself that love in all of the ways you wish to receive it. Number 4, this is celebrating the small stuff. Self-love is not about waiting to be perfect to love ourselves. It's about recognizing the good in ourselves. It's about supporting ourselves along the way, every step we take, right? So anything that is like completing some type of assignment, right? Taking a step towards completing a project you're working on, setting a boundary, resting, congratulate yourself for listening to your body, congratulate yourself for trying, even if it doesn't come out exactly how you want it to. I'd congratulate myself for just taking care of myself. I made food, good job. Okay, I made this video, amazing. Okay, I did my yoga. Okay, boom, I brushed my teeth. You gotta give yourself that encouragement, really like hype yourself up. Give yourself that recognition you seek. It's so important that we recognize all of the good in ourselves, no matter how small or how great. Number 5, one of the biggest shifts I made, it was showing up for myself in the ways that a parent or a lover would, right? Sometimes, like, I would just talk to myself for real. I mean, that may sound funny, but I would just talk to myself and be there for myself in that way. Like, sometimes it would be hard to show up for myself all the time, just as myself. And so I would kind of visualizing into the mindset of, I am taking care of this version of myself who needs me, this version of myself who's going through it, with that love of a parent or a lover, and I would just be there for her. I would ask her, okay, what do you need, baby? I need some water. I got you. Need some rest? Okay, that makes sense. It's okay, you just rest. And I would kind of be able to support myself in this way. And I felt and learned that I can lean on me. And it was nice to feel like I'm really taking care of myself, taking care of that inner child, taking care of that person I love so much. And I learned I can lean on me and to support myself when I needed it most. And not in a I have to be strong all the time type of way, but in a I got us kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So that was super helpful for me. And I learned how to hold myself, which is so important. We gotta be there for ourselves, not just when we're doing good, not just when we feel confident, when we feel good, when we feel like we look good, when we feel like we're doing good. We gotta be supporting ourselves, especially when we feel like we're not doing good, especially when we look a mess, especially when we're going through it. We gotta be there to hold ourselves. And so a major part of my journey of loving myself was learning how to hold myself when I'm going through it. Sometimes this was just letting myself cry, no shame in it. It was just laying myself down in my bed, curling up, crying, and just being like, it's okay, let it out, it's all right. Sometimes it was just talking to myself through anxiety spirals, like, I'm okay, I am here, I will get through this, and just kind of being like that calm, having that calm presence, like that parent, that lover in the back of my head, like, okay, breathe, we can get through this. Giving myself that space and support, and again, telling myself, I got you through everything. So in that moment, I stopped waiting and wishing someone else was there to support me and to, get me out of this and to get me through this. And I learned how to get myself through it, how to be there for myself, and how to give myself all of the love that I needed, even when it was hard. Another crucial part of fully loving yourself is self-forgiveness. We often, not even consciously, hold on to this like resentment towards our past selves for whatever, for what we've been through, for what we're embarrassed of. Like, you ever get those waves of like embarrassment thinking of a situation? Well, when these things come up, we have to be willing to let it go and forgive ourselves, because at the time, we were doing the best with what we had, with what we knew. And, even if we weren't, let's say, us making those mistakes, us going through those things, that gave us the opportunity to grow from it, to be here now, right? To know better now. And so we gotta be forgiving ourselves. So when that stuff would come up, I would just tell myself, okay, Chani, I forgive you, I love you, it's okay, it happens, and I'll learn from that. And I'd even thank that version of myself, because she got me here, and she deserves so much better than what she had and what she did. All of these tips and these steps work to build a healthy, fulfilling relationship with yourself. But the foundation of relationships, the foundation of real love is trust. So having that trust with yourself is integral to your self-relationship. I mean, we could say all the affirmations we want. We can give ourselves all the validation, all the quality time, all of the bubble baths, whatever we want. But if we are not making choices that build trust with ourselves, then we're not really loving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So I really had to start looking at my life, looking at the patterns and habits, the cycles I was engaging in. And I had to stop engaging in self-destructive cycles. I had to distance myself from those habits, from those thought patterns, from those people. I had to be willing to step away from certain things that I knew weren't good for me so that I can really heal, so that I can really feel at peace within myself and to prove my love to myself. One example, okay, I got celiac, I can't eat gluten. If I'm doing all this work, I love myself, I love my body, I'm taking care of my body, and then I'm gonna go literally eat something that's poisoning me, that's not real self-love. So I'm like, okay, I can't be doing all that. We have to be making choices that really show our love through our actions, not just our words, right? Not just the nice, beautiful things, but we gotta be making those choices that really prove our love. So make those choices for yourself. And you also build that trust by showing up for yourself, by showing up when you say you're gonna show up, by following through on your promises to yourself, by acting in alignment with your intentions. The more you keep your word to yourself, the more you show up for yourself, even in small ways, the more trust you build with yourself. And when you have that trust, you learn that you can depend on yourself. You feel that you really do love yourself. You don't just wake up one day and then magically just love yourself. Like any relationship, this is something that you gotta put work into. It's something you build. It's something you pour into. But the more I showed up for myself, the more I realized I'm someone really worth falling for. And the more I did this, the more I realized how beautiful, how sweet, and how rich life can be when I give myself all of the love that I seek and deserve. I hope this video was able to shed some light on love and that you feel inspired to really integrate these steps into your self-love journey. If you enjoyed this video, I would love if you left a like, a comment, and if you subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!